Father, we're so thankful this morning for your blessings. We thank you because you've been good enough to us to bring us through another year. We thank you because through the hard times, the easy times, you've always been there. You are the joy of my life, my peace, my everything. Thank you for the privilege it is to come to your house to worship you in spirit and in truth. I pray, God, that you would stir men and women, boys and girls. Awaken them, God, to know you, to get a chance to understand who you are. I thank you for what you've done. You've been so good. I pray, God, for the anointing upon thy servant. I'll give you praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Yes, my friend is back. I missed you. Yes. You know, God got to take good care of you. You got to stay around a while. Yes, it's good to be here. Thank God for all that he's done. He is so good and so kind. I couldn't make it without him. I don't know about you. But because he's here, it's made the difference in my life. Went through situations that I couldn't have got through without God. Thank you for what you've done. I want to preach a little bit this morning, and I am somewhat disturbed at the fact that people don't really treat God the way he should be treated. I'm going to you from Romans, the 10th chapter, and the 21st verse or 20th verse. But Esaias is very bold and saith, I was found of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me. But to Israel he saith, all day long have I stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and a gainsaying people. I want to preach to you, you know what? Every person in this building today, at some point and sometime, God has reached out to you and you keep saying no. He said, Israel, I have stretched my hand out to you all day long. But you're so hard-headed, so evil, so stubborn, so set in your way. That is to most people in this building. They want to do things the way they want to do it. God said, I'm trying to get you to come to me. I'm trying to be there for you and help you to get through a situation. But we're so busy pushing God aside, doing our own thing, and we don't really want nothing from him unless we can ask him for something in time of need, and we want God to do it. But that's not right. But he said, Israel, what is the problem? All day long, I've reached out to you. All day long, I've tried to love you. All day long, I've done everything in my power to try to help you. You know what? We'll go all these different places and reaching out to other people and what have you, but we don't reach out to God. No wonder you're frustrated. No wonder you're aggravated. No wonder you're unhappy. No wonder you're sad. That's why you're sad. Because no matter what, I can't seem to get it together. No matter what, you haven't given God the chance. Give him the chance. He loved Israel. He loves man today. He is saying, I want to love on you. I want to be there for you. I want to save you from things that you cannot save yourself from. Have mercy, God. Nobody in the world cares for you like he does. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, sister, brother. Nobody cares for you like he does. Nobody. But he says, I am trying my best. What is this love that God has for man? The angels ask, what is man that thou art mindful of him? Who is he, God? You made him ruler over everything. He still don't give you nothing. He still don't thank you enough. What is this love with man? He loves you more than anybody in the entire world. And that's the truth. I don't care your wife, your husband, everybody. He loves you more than he do anybody. Nobody will love you like that. Nobody will keep on forgiving you. Nobody will reach out to you and say, God, here I am. Oh, no, no, no. We don't have time for that. Well, I would like you know what they say, I'm not into that God stuff. You better get into it. Because I can tell you right now, you're going to wish that you had gotten into that God stuff, as you call it. But take a moment and look at your life and say, you know what? This year has almost gone. It's a matter of hours. And this year, whatever happened here, if it's good or bad, you can't do nothing with it. It's all gone. So as you look at your life today, think for a minute how old you are. And I've been around here for a good little while. Why is it that I still don't want God? I got uptight with a boy that used to go to this church. His mother's still here. He wants to be a part of her life, but he don't want to be a part of God. You wouldn't have a mother if it wasn't for God. You wouldn't even have a mother. So when I look at that, I said to him, okay, how old are you now? 28. I said, so what are you doing with your life? He says, I work for these people, whoever. I wouldn't talk about that. I don't give a care about that. And I said, so what about you and God? Have you got your mind on him at all? Do anything about him matter? Well, no, ma'am, I haven't thought about, giving my life to God. Well, what do you want then? Let me tell you something. Every person in this building, be it father, mother, sister, or brother, whatever, when people say, I want to be a part of your life, but I don't want God in it, me and you can't talk about God because I'm not interested in that. What are you around for? Why are you hanging around? I got a problem with that because I'm going to talk about God. What you going to talk about? I'm going to talk about how good he is. What are you going to talk about? How can two walk together except they agree? If me and you going to be friends, we got to have something in common. And serving God is my number one thing. And so if you don't want to be a part of that, get moving. I don't have time for it. So you want me when you come around me, or you don't want me talking about God, I'm going to talk about it. You say, well, I didn't say nothing because they're not Christians. Well, what you doing with them then? No, I don't want that kind of stuff. But God, the church world today as a whole is just like Israel was. Just like them. Stiff-necked, stubborn, set in their own way, don't want to listen. But the minute something goes wrong, and I hate to hear this, well, I wonder why God let this happen to me. No, you did. God ain't let nothing. God, everything that he has offered us is good. If you're experiencing all kind of evil and stuff in your life, you're experiencing that because of you. Don't come putting God in the picture. Why did he do this? Well, why did you reject him? Why haven't you give him time? God, the thing that stands out to me so much is the fact that when God decided to send his son to die for you and for me, he already knew everybody that wasn't going to accept him. He already knew that you wasn't going to serve him. And what looks so bad with that is that you're sending your son to give his life to give me a chance to save me from hell. And I went through all of this for you. And you don't want my son? You don't want to serve me? Think about it. And that's just the way they treat him. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Really? Well, keep on having a messed up life. Keep on messing up the way you've been doing for years. Think for a moment, I need to consider God. I'm so glad that I can say every New Year's Eve for the last 50 plus years, I have been in church. I wasn't at the club. I wasn't getting my head bad, if you want to call it that. No, I was in church. I saw when the old year left, and I saw when the new came. That's good. Where were you at all these New Year's Eves? Drunk? Somewhere running into people? Can't see where you're going? Waking up the next morning with a hangover? Where you? I haven't been down that path. But the path I've been down has given me nothing but peace of mind, joy, happiness. Everything you could possibly think of, good, he gave to me. We sing this song sometimes and say, he ain't never done me nothing but good. If I don't care what, if you don't serve him, you know what? He loves you so much, he still reaches out and touches you. I don't get it. We are dealing with somebody who shows a solicitude, basically care or concern about all of us. He's always looking out for man, protecting them, keeping them from danger. When I was unsaved, he kept me. When I hadn't even chose to serve him, he looked out for me. Because when I look back in my life, I should have been dead a long time ago. But I'm here today because God loved me so much. He loved me unconditionally. He came to give me life and more abundant life. I am blessed by him every day. There was a time I didn't serve God, and I regret that I didn't serve him from the day my mother gave birth to me, because he deserves it. Everything, he deserves it. We need to take time in our life for God. What are you going to do 2018? At the end of 2018, will you still be in the same place you're in right now? Going nowhere, blaming God for all your mishaps. Just stop for a minute. I hear people say all the time, where you want to be in about 5 years from now, 3 years from now? Well, I don't know. Everything is going bad in my life right now. And should it go bad? Yes. Nothing will get to me more than somebody says, Sister Rose, can I talk to you? What is it about? Well, I got some issues. Where is God? Where is he at? If he's in your life, you ain't going to have that many issues. You're going to have a serious, happy, good life. You know how many people live their whole life doing nothing with it and come to the end of the road and die and go to a devil's hell? I thought, God, you came so we didn't have to go to hell. And man is going there every day. But you've been good to us. You tried to save us from the pain and the hurt and disappointments and all these things. You tried to save us. What's wrong with you? It's like people that's out in the ocean and they're drowning and they can't get in, and somebody comes and reach their hand out to them and they said, no, that's okay. You wouldn't find one person in this room that would do that. If they thought you could come and save them, they would be on top of things in a moment. And they would thank you and thank you and thank you. Well, that's what you should be doing for God. You should be thanking him and thanking him. Yes. Because he's good. He's good. See, we always sing the song at Christmas time, Brenda does. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He gave his life. His son sacrificed everything. And you still don't want him? God let you get up this morning. You couldn't have got out of bed. You didn't do that on your own. It's because God did that for you. You're breathing right now because God's letting you breathe. You're sitting there in your right mind, hopefully, and God had to do that. See? We got some crazy people in this world, and I would tell you a lot of them are crazy because they don't want God. They're all mixed up and confused, going from place to place. But he's the gift that never stops giving. He gave his son gave his life, and he's still reaching out to man. He did that to Israel. Israel said one time, we don't want him to be our king. We want somebody else. And God told Samuel, he said, tell him, I'll give him a king. He's going to abuse them. He's going to do bad things to them. All these things. And you know what they said? We still want a king. Man is insane. He's crazy himself. Quit blaming other people for who you are. Take full responsibility. Your life is where it is because of you. You don't have to be there. You could be somewhere else. Oh no, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna do the best I can. You don't just come to church on a Sunday morning and say, well, I thank God for being here today. Where were you last Sunday? Where were you last Sunday night? Oh, no, we don't go to church on Sunday night. We have to be home watching the games and doing this and doing that. You know what? People that love God, they're going to be like David. He said, I was glad when they said unto me, let's go to the house of God. If you're a Christian, you want to be in his house. It's not enough for me just one service. I mean, when I go on vacation, my first Sunday gone, I'm just, oh, God, I wish I was at home. God, I wish I was in church this morning. Charles said, don't start it, Rose. You got a while here. It's no use to start. I'm just sitting there thinking, boy, I'd like to be in church. These people right here where it is and don't go. Don't go to church. And you always got something to do on God's time. Yes, on Sunday. Well, you know what? We had planned for breakfast this morning. It would be good if you choked. It would be good. Because you should be in the house of God. We're always somewhere else except church. And church is the best thing. Come to the house of God. Everything I didn't understand, everything that I didn't know, I found it out when I came to the house. David said some things I didn't understand, but when I came to the house of God, I understood. I understood. See, I cannot believe that as much as God has pleaded with man and pleaded with, he don't want you to go to hell. He wants you to be saved. But you know what? We act like, hey, the devil got a way of making people feel like hell is not real. Hell is real. You read your Bible every day, it'll tell you that. See? But it's like, well, I'm not going to worry about it. You will worry about it one day, but it might be too late. See? Don't be stubborn and hard-headed. Say, Lord, what would you have me to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to give my life to you. I'm going to commit to you. Not for temporarily, but I'm going to commit to you. If you can commit to your job and go 7 days a week, you can commit to God and come to his house at least on Sunday. We don't even want to give him the full day. Well, yeah, we went to church this morning, but, Sunday night's our time. You ain't going to have none without God. You have nothing that you can hold on to. You don't have the sure thing. Sure, you can pay me. Just say, I'm going to stay home today and just whatever. Oh, no. Something happens. When I've been sick and came to church, I felt better. I felt better. But you know what we're doing? We're doing the same thing that the Sadducees and Pharisees did. They said, away with this Jesus. We don't want him. So here is a murderer in prison. Jesus is in prison. For you, for me. And now he's saying, what would y'all want us to do? They said, away with him. That's what you're saying every day that you don't come to his house. Every day that you don't pray and tell him thank you for what he's done. Every day. Think for a moment. So who would you that I release to you? We'll take Barnabas. We'll take him. We don't want, no, not him. And listen what they said. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the Pavement, but in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover and about the 6th hour. And he said unto the Jews, behold your king. And this is what they said. But they cried out anyway with him, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, shall I crucify your king? And he said, the chief priest answered, we have no king. That's about the way you treat him now. We have no king but Caesar. Then delivers he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Jesus and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him and 2 others with him on either side, one, and Jesus in the midst. And Pilate wrote a title and put it upon the cross, and the writing was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city, and it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin. Then said the chief priests of the Jews to Pilate, write not the King of the Jews, but that he said he was. change that. Some of the things that happen to our Jewish brothers and sisters happen as a result of this. That's what Holocaust is about. Because they said, away with it. You know, you can, even our children, whatever, away with this thing. And everything they did, they had to pay for it, just like you're going to pay. You cannot get away with it. At some point in your life, you're going to have to answer to God, why am I here? Why didn't I listen? People that got trouble in their lives today will tell you, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I follow that example? Why didn't I go and do what she told us to do? No, we don't want to do that. Away with that. Well, that's not what I want to hear. You know why people don't come to counseling for me sometimes? They don't want to hear what I got to say. I say it anyway. I don't care whether they like it or not. And here it is. So if you die and go to a devil's hell, Sister Rose told you. She warned you ahead of time. You should do something about that. Oh, no, we don't want that. Well, this lady come up in the prayer line not long ago, and she said, I'm having so many problems in my life. Really? That's how you say? No, ma'am, but my boyfriend, I thought, there it is. That's why you got problems. People got boyfriends. They're not just boy friends. They're lovers. They're kind of loving. Sexual pleasure. I can't really get my life up because I don't know how Jim would think. Well, you and Jim can go to hell together. I mean, the bottom line is, if that's what you are talking about, you can do it together. Come to church and don't want to get in. What time is it? You may go to the club, they never look at the time. Just act a fool all night long, jumping and hollering and sweating, looking like a fool, and never look down to watch. And then you come to church and we shouting and praising God. It's like, what's wrong with these people? We got what you don't have. That's right. People can give you some unbelievable reasons why they ain't in church. You say, where y'all been? There's my friend back there, Kia and Ty. Where you been? Well, she's working. I said, you ain't been working all this time. We don't pull 24-hour duty every day. Now, we pull some duty. I know about duty. My husband was a military man. So I know, but he used to pay somebody to pull his so he could stay home. You ought to pay somebody to pay yours to go to church. Here, can you pull duty for me? They used to do it all the time. Because I got to get to church. And then just drag around every once in a while. I don't give a nickel for anybody who you see every once in a while. You ain't about God. What are you about really? It's not God. It's just, yeah. Well, I can't go to church because this. I can't go to church because this. I had Pookie call me the other day. He just lied. And said, Sister Rose. No, Mama. I wanted to ask you something he wanted to ask me about, I guess if you had a girlfriend, whether he got one. I said, do you have one? Oh, Mom, no, I ain't got no girlfriend. He's lying. I said, you know what? I just got a feeling you lying. No, really. I wouldn't just try to give you. I said, I know you don't. I said, who's that girl you brought to church on Christmas program? And she came before. Oh, it's a friend. I said, what kind of friend? I said, people tell you this is a friend, but they're having sex all the time with their friend. My friend, we didn't have sex together. What is this? They ain't no friend. It's a homemonger. He said, you and Miss Daisy use that word all the time about homemonger. I said, no, the Bible called you a homemonger. Don't come talk about me and Miss Daisy. Yeah, because that's what y'all call people homongers. I said, you right. And why do you want a nice name when you a dog? I ain't going to give you a good name. Here it is, baby. Yes. Well, he kept asking me questions about he's trying to work around this. And I said, you know what, Pookie, I don't really believe nothing you said, so you're lying. So I can't get to church. I said, I'll have Uber to pick you up, and Uber will take you back. still miss church. So I'm calling you, Mom. I said, where were you? Well, I told you, sometimes I can't find a car. I can't find nobody to let me use their car. I said, what did I tell you? This ain't got nothing to do with car. You know what God put this girl in place for? To take away all your excuses. All of them. And believe me, I'm going to be sure you have none. So I wanted to come to church, but I didn't have gas. Here's a gas card. No, he said, he still won't answer Uber. I said, I promise you I'll send them to you. Bring you here, bring you back. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get away. I said, God sent you into my life because at some point and soon and maybe not much longer, something's going to happen to you and you're going to die. Don't say that, Mom. Don't even go there. I'm going there, baby. I love going there. Tell you the truth. So you don't have no excuse. So when you come to this church and you say, I can't do this because of this and I can't do that because, oh, I got a way out for you. Are you coming back to church Sunday? Well, what's the lie I need to tell here? No. I ain't going back to church Sunday night. You're not going to serve God part-time and reap full benefits. That's why your prayers are not answered. That's why things are not good. You don't want to come to church. If you really want God, you need to come to church. You need to get involved. You need to get committed. Yes. Pilate said, I find no fault in Jesus. I find no fault in him. And why do the people want us to treat him as if he did something wrong? He said, the man did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing. He says, I've examined him before you, have found no fault in this man, touching those things whereof you accuse him of. All the accusations that you're making against him, I see none of that. Why do you want? They want to get rid of Jesus even to this day. Church is about Jesus. Church is about serving God. David said, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord right now. Are you not glad to go to church? Well, it's just, me and John, we had our time planned. Yeah, well, maybe next Sunday. Well, maybe next Sunday you could be in hell. Did you know that? Your life is not promised to you, to none of us. We're here today and gone today. There's nothing, not one thing that you'll be able to use when you stand in the presence of God and say, I didn't do it because of this. Just don't want to do it. And time they break a neck or something, they come here crying, can you pray for me? No, I'm sure not going to pray for you. See? Herod said, well, I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto him. I will therefore chastise him and release him. For of necessity he must release unto one of them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, away with this man, release unto us Barabbas. We don't want to be bothered. And they cried, saying, crucify him, get rid of him. That's what you do every day of your life when you don't commit. You're saying the same thing. Away with him. Why do I want him in my life? I'm not, there's a church is full of hypocrites. Why don't you get in church and not be one? See? Oh, no, we don't want that. This half-stepping crap and call yourself, and they'll tell you, I'm a Christian. No, you're not. No, you're not. Anything that come up in your family, you will put that before God. That's not right. If the family plans something, you have to be there. But what about the fact that you need to be committed to God and telling him, God, I'll be there? He said, forsake not the assembling of yourself together. But when people come together, don't forsake that. Come to the house of God. Don't put it off. You always want to make everybody else more important than him. It's not working. He said, look at these people. You don't love him. He said, how can you call me Lord and do not the things that I say? How do you say you love me, but you don't do nothing he says do? We need to raise our children up in church. We need to bring them to the house of God and teach them that they don't have an example in their own parents. Listen, he looked out at Jerusalem, and he said, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, but you didn't want it. I wanted to put my arms around you. I wanted to touch you. I wanted you to know I love you." He said, but when I reached out, you don't want that. I have seen in the ministry over the years I've been in it, there are people that cannot respond to love. I don't know if you ever run into people like that. Weird. You reach out and hug them. You know what? If I come up to you to give you a hug, don't do this. Hug back. What you're saying to me? My friend Sarah, she was good like that. Bless her heart. She knew I was coming to her. When I first met her, I thought, wow. Every time you reach out and we want a hug, it's just limp. Can't respond. Something's wrong with you. Because love should make you want to hug too. You hug me, I hug you back. You see somebody standing like this? Something's wrong with them people. They can't respond. As they can't respond to his love. He said, Jerusalem, I wanted to gather you. I wanted to do this. But you didn't want me. You didn't want me. He said, you know what? There'll come a time in your life you're going to call on me, but I'm not going to be there. Think about it. You're going to need God long before he needs you. I promise you that. If you don't want him now, you're going to wish that you had chosen him. You're going to wish that you had done the right thing. You're going to wish all of these things. You can't get around it. He said, I want you to be happy. I came that you might have life and that you may have a more abundant life. And we got more depressed people in the world, down and out, thinks nobody loves them, nobody cares about them. Not true. The main person that loves you above everybody is him, and you don't want him. Yes. He said, learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If you be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. I always think about this scripture. There was a lady at home. I never forget it. I didn't know her. I heard about it through the family because I was young. She was sick, and my uncle was a preacher. He went to the hospital to pray for her. And she said to him, find something in the Bible to read to me. So when he got ready to speak to her, he gave her this scripture. If you be willing and obedient, you eat the good of the land, but if you refuse and rebel, you'll be cut off. She said, shut that up. He said, you want me to read? Don't be telling me about obedience. Full of it. Leaving this world, getting ready to go to hell and still mad. And says to him, And he said, I want to read it to you again. Don't read it to me. Well, he's telling you, if you had been willing, if you had been obedient, you would eat the good of the land. The reason why things are so bad for you, because you're bad. Bad produces bad. Good produces good. But we don't want to do it. We don't want to hear the word because we don't like that. And I'm hated of a lot of people because of the word. Ask me, do I care? How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Turn you at my reproof, God says. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded it. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. You wouldn't do nothing I told you to do. But now you want something from me. Listen what he says. When your fear cometh as desolations, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I won't answer you, God says. They shall seek me early, but they'll not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all of my reproof. I didn't like that woman preacher from the time I walked in here. And it don't matter because I'm filling your ears and belly up this morning. It don't even matter. Chew these greens and potatoes. You're always looking for donuts. This ain't donuts. This is a real thing. Say, do something about it. Quit talking crap. It's amazing to me how much people spend their life doing nothing, not investing in the kingdom. If you invest in the kingdom will invest in you. God said, I just want to love on you. I just want to be good to you. I'm not looking for that kind of love. You say, well, honey, I need me a man. Well, baby, let me show you something. If you get the man, don't mean you got what you need. We all know that. Every woman in here that ever had a man woke up one day and said, what am I laying in this bed with this joker for? It's the truth. All of a sudden, I just don't like you. And you know what it boils down to? They sick of you. They had sex with you for nothing. You was free. That's why they don't marry you. Why should I marry a cow or buy a cow when I got one free every day? You don't have no value. God's trying to give you value. You don't have value. Anybody can sleep with somebody and tell me, you told me you love me. When you going to wake up and quit being a fool? And said, everything that says they love you, it's not about love, it's about sex. And how long do you have to live and how old do you have to get before you figure that one out? Yeah. I saw a situation one time, I can't get into the whole details of it, and this person said, I thought it was more than that. Is this all it is, just sex? I thought, how old are you, darling? Think for a minute. Understand, people are trying to fulfill their life off of sex. I feel love because he supposedly made love to you. He didn't make love to you. He just had sex with you like an old wore-out, beat-out cow. That's all it amounts to. Deal with it. Say, you know what, she just called people a name? No, I'm telling the truth. I know you don't like that. Because if you having sex with somebody, you ain't married to them, you're just playing games, baby. You don't win. You know, he was with me for 20 years and didn't marry you. You should have figured that out before 20 years. No. Listen to his language. He told everybody that. Jesus is trying to put his arms around you, saying, come here, I want to keep you from getting hurt. We don't want him. I need a man. Okay, it's just like Israel said, we want a king like everybody else got. God said, Samuel, they didn't reject you, they rejected me. So, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And tell me, every time it looks like I want to start going to church and give my life to God, everything goes wrong. And everything goes wrong in your life when you try to do a lot of things. But you know what? You step on over and do what you want to do. Why can't you step over and do what he wants you to do? That's the real thing. That's what makes life different. That's what gives us something to look forward to. I'm happy every day. You said, honey, I don't believe that. When that woman said that, I thought she lied through her teeth because ain't nobody happy every day. You too dumb to have happiness. You're the problem. They don't want to believe God is that good. But they'll believe some lying man or woman that come along and tell them something. They'll believe that. God is constantly forbearing with man, trying to give him a chance again and again, and he still won't give up. Go to the end of the life. Why can't you make him first? Why do you keep saying that's not what I need in my life? It is what you need. And God knows it's what you need. Where are you? And you don't have to have somebody to walk with you, a husband, a wife, a friend. Look, you can come to God all by yourself. All by yourself. God is patient. His love restrains him from doing some things. Giving you a chance, a chance, a chance, a chance. I've seen people come through this church. God gave them chance after chance. They never got in. Somewhere in your life, things are going to fall apart. And already falling apart, but you ain't seen trouble. Because you're rejecting the one who can take care of everything, who can fix you, while you just throw him to the curb. He ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. Said, no, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to give my life to God. I'm going to serve him. I remember when I married my husband, I was not a Christian. And I finally made up my mind I was going to turn my life over to the Lord because I didn't like me. And you need to stop liking you. And I said to my husband, I went to visit him in Fort Sill, then we transferred down there. And I said, honey, when you see me again, I'm going to be saved. I'm going to be a Christian. I said, so I won't be the person that you're looking at today. I said that over 50 years ago. I'm going to change. I don't want to be like this. Wasn't nothing about me that I liked. I was crazy. And so are you. You don't want to say that. So I'm going to say it for you. You are crazy. You are a nutcracker. You're sick. You're insane. Give it all to you. And then when you go home, Sister Rose said, you're insane. Look in the mirror. You remember she called you crazy. Because the first time you hit your girlfriend after this message, she's going to say, Sister Rose said you was crazy. Did you believe it? Nobody should be beat up and whipped by anybody. And it's even worse when I counsel a man and he tells me that his wife, she come up to me, she said, Sister Rose, she hit me. I said, you know what? I shouldn't even be having this conversation, you idiot. Shouldn't even be having this. See? Don't have time for it. Some woman that beat your crazy tail up. You got to stop for a minute and say, you know what? I wouldn't even tell nobody. I mean, it's bad all the way around, but I wouldn't tell nobody. A man, if a man lets you beat him up, he is sick. And you're equally sick if you let him do it to you. See? Understand that. Everybody that walk through those doors and come in here, they get something. God is saying, I love you. I care about you. Well, don't make me think he loves me. I've been called names ever since I've been here, and he's still going to call you some more. Get saved. He said, my people won't hearken to my voice. And Israel would none of me, don't want nothing to do with God. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. God said, you chose the stuff that I don't even like. Find out what God likes, and then follow that. Do it. That's important. He says, my God will cast them away because they did not hearken unto him, and they shall be wanderers among the nations. And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. We ain't going over there. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Come on over. You're invited. She don't show up. I look at people sometimes and think, do you realize that somewhere in your life, you got to get some things fixed? You got to change some things? Anybody who continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting change, is the meaning of insanity. I keep doing this. And you know what? People that get hooked up with the wrong people in relationships, if they get rid of one, they get another one just like them. If he was abusive, if she was abusive, I hate to even use that. Honest to God, they're going to find another one just like him. You said, do you know he looks like your other boyfriend? Sure do. Do you not know he's the same? Yeah. But he's only hit me once. Once. Jesus will never hurt you. He'll love on you. He'll be there in time of crisis. When things are going on in your life, he's going to be there to help you get out of it. When you get ready to leave this world, he's going to walk you through to eternity. You got everything going for you, and you don't want him. When nobody else can fix it. You can't fix it. He can't fix it. Come on. Let him do it. I'm going to let him fix me. Not just when you get sick. Not just when the doctor tells you you're going to die tomorrow. That's not a reason. Quit playing church. Say, I'm going to church. Kids come over and say, well, Mother, we were going to have lunch with you today. Say, you were? I'm going to church. Well, can't you at least put church on hold? No, I can put you on hold. You're going to be on hold, not me. God is waiting for us to be faithful to him, to give him everything we've got. 100%. Not a piece, everything. Living, serving him is the best thing ever happened to me. 50-some years ago, and I'm still not tired of this. I'm still not looking for something new because God is new every day. Every day. You'll be surprised at the people. You'll be surprised at the people who just want to be loved. They need to be able to release what's in them, but they can't because if you're a man, you're not supposed to do that. You have to bottle up your emotions inside when you really need to let go. I was, one Sunday, it's been maybe a year or two now, this man got in the prayer line, and he laid on my shoulder and cried and cried. You know what he said? Today, the message that you preach, let me know that I can release all this pain inside of me. I can cry and still be a man. I said, it's true. It is true. You'd be surprised at the men in our society, the reason why they look like that. You know why? Too much inside. Because as a man, our society pretty much teaches you, well, don't cry. Man, you ain't going to cry. You stand up, you're a man. No, real men can cry and still be a man. Yes. Yes. We're so bottled up with what society says we are and should be. And we can't even be ourselves anymore. And God said, I came to set you free from that junk. I came to break the yoke. I came that you could be free and be yourself and not have to be what everybody else thinks you should be. You'd be surprised at the people that can't live up to other people's expectations, but you should not be living up to them. Because men will like you today and talk about you like a dog tomorrow. Tell you how great you are, and tomorrow you don't know where you're going. You need something solid in your life. Something sure. He's called Jesus. He loves you. He cares about you. He said, come on. I want to put my arms around you. I want to love you. If we sing the song, you ain't never been loved till you've been loved by God. You'll never know what it feels like until he puts his arms around you and love you for who you are. And if anything needs changing, he'll change that. Because he made you the way you are. You've done things you shouldn't have done. All you got to do is ask him to forgive you. Ask him to show, God, I don't understand it all, but help me to experience this. Let this year go out with the fact I changed my life. I got out of a rut. I got tired of lying, making excuses why I can't come to church. I'm tired of it. I got to do something. Free yourself from all this stuff. So I need to be free. I'm tired of being yoked up when I don't have to be. I can't be free around people because I don't want them to think this. Forget that stuff. I'm going to Jesus. Where are you going? I'm going to Jesus. Where is he at? Anywhere I want to go, he's there. I'm going to him. I'm going to get my life in order. Most people's lives are out of order. Sad to say, but true. They haven't got it together. But today, you can make up in your mind, since this is the last Sunday in 2017, how are you going to start off? Don't worry about the fat yet. Let's deal with what's in here. What's inside of you? Because everybody going to lose weight on the first of the year. And it usually lasts until January 30th. But what are you going to do with your life? It's more than that. I got to change this. I'm tired of me. And don't let nobody come up and tell you, honey, quit putting down on yourself. You're all right the way you are. No, you are not. You're not right the way you are unless God is in your life, controlling your life. Then that's when you're where you should be. Today, he's still stretching his hands out today, even with this message, saying to you, come to me. Come to me. He's doing that right now. Come to me. This message, God is saying to you, don't excuse it. Get rid of it. Don't say later. Do it today. In the day that you hear my voice, harden not your heart. Don't get hard. Come and let it be different. If you're sitting by your boyfriend or whoever, and they say, I ain't going up for prayer. Leave them on the pew. Leave them on the pew. And if they try to pull you back, say, let me go. I'm going up for prayer. Loud talker. But I look back and say, baby, you could. You don't have to get all up in the air about it. You know, if you want to go on up there, say, I am. They don't want you to get right. They don't want you to change because they're not changing, and you got to do things they want you to do, and you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Think about it. He's saying, come to me. All you that are laden and heavy laden, come to me. My yoke is easy. You won't be burdened down. You won't be depressed. You won't be down and out. But you want to be happy? What would this world be like if the whole world was happy? Can you imagine that? The whole world happy? Well, let's not go to the world. Everybody in here. You know what? I need to change some things. I need to get my life right. I look at my friend Zach, and I think he's sitting in church just smiling, and he can't even walk. You walking and look like you getting ready to tear up a whole place around here. You're going to get a smile out of him. How is that? It's what's inside. Sister Mabel said one time, a lady evangelist in Washington, she said, somebody came up to me and said, why do you smile all the time? She said, the smiler lives inside of me. I have to smile. Because some of y'all look like you had some bad food before getting here this morning. Some bad tastes that come in like this. What's wrong? Can you walk in happy? Excited? Living life to its fullest? You can do it. I see people all over this building this morning. They are intense in hearing this message. And they're saying, that's me, but I ain't going to worry about it. You better worry about it, Stupo. I need to get out of here. I need to change things. 2018 going to give you worse than what you had 2017. Come on, if you can change it, change it. Change it. If somebody walks in here this morning and say to you, what did you really need in 2017? You say, well, they would always start off with something like something natural. We need a car. We need trying to find a place to live. I need a job. All that. Well, in 2018, I'm going to turn my life over to the one that can do all of that for me. But he said, first seek me. First come to me. First, if you come to me first, I'll fix everything else. That's why you don't have what you need. And 2018 is going to bring you the same garbage. Same stuff. If, more than likely worse. More than likely worse. Think about it. Say, you know what? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of life. Even as a Christian, I see why Paul said, we earnestly groan that we might be clothed upon, that we might shed this mortality, our mortality or our immortality. We need something more. That's why Christians want to go home. They talk about heaven a lot. And Pooh get the nerve to come here and say, don't be talking about going home. I thought, honey, I ain't going to hang around for you. Look, I've been serving God all this time. What you been doing? Nothing. Look at yourself this morning. Sister Rose ain't mad at you. Not a bit. Not a bit. But you can change. See, when I'm in the pulpit, look at that. I ain't gonna tell you, see how she look at people like she could beat people up and stuff. I promise you, I won't beat you up. But I will pray for you that God will help you. Change your life for good. It's not enough just to go to church. You have to go to church. You have to live right. There's a whole bunch of things together, but you can do every one of them with him. Don't let the devil tell you, well, you know what, I would do it, but I don't think I could live like that. Well, you wish you had when you go to hell. Hell's real, people. People right today in hell are crying for another chance, but they'll never get it. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. Say, you know what, I'm gonna listen to that. I think I'll follow that. Give it a try. Don't kick something before you try it. Say, man, I ain't never wanted to be a Christian. I don't think that stuff is for me. It better be for you. If it's not, you got a bad end coming to you. Say, God, I'm going to quit fighting everything that's good and take it and make up my mind. I'm going to go. I'm going to accept this. This is good. While our musicians are coming forward to pray. And you know what I want to say to y'all? Everybody that's here this morning, you came to church this morning. You want to start 2018 off right, be in church tonight. Watch them sit like that and say, I'm supposed to go over John's place tonight. He's throwing a party. I can't just, I'm the life of the party. You better think about this. Every person that I'm looking at this morning, if I see you tonight, I believe you mean business. I'm going to change my life. Because you can be here to see the old year go out and the new year come in, and we join hands and pray while it's going out, and we get through praying, it's already here. If you really want to serve God, if you really want to prove to him your love, do it. You can do it. You're sitting there, and the devil will give you 110 lies. I know she was telling the truth, man. You know, I went down to the Rose Church. They won't be telling the truth, but, man, I don't think I'm ready for all that. You ready to die? Are you? Whether you're ready to die or not, when time comes, you're going to die. Nobody's going to be able to stop that. No man has the power to retain his own life in the day of death. Nobody. Think about it. They're going to be sing. Don't let it be too late to enter the golden gates. And that's a possibility. That's why God is sending you this message this morning. He knew who was going to be here. I didn't. Tell them the truth. They may not never hear it again. Tell them the truth. He loves you. He cares about you. If you want to be saved this morning, you say, what is saved? Let's look it up. Say, God, I know I'm a sinner. I know I sin every day. I ask you to forgive me of every sin. Come into my heart. Give me the power to say no to sin and yes to you. And it's already done. That quick. Listen to this song. If you want prayer this morning, even if you ain't coming, stand to your feet anyway. Yes.